this cannot be overlooked. Far too many people are. We're too bothered about smashing driver. What about improving the scoring end of our game? Now, DJ, one of the longest players on tour, but arguably one of the best wedge players on tour as well. What can we learn from him to help you hit more greens, and not only that, hit it closer with your wedges? I also think this is quite an interesting subject, so get in those comments. Are you a person who prefers a laser? Are you a person who prefers a watch? Both of these can work really nicely to help improve your wedge game, but I think it's really important, if we're serious about our game, we have to have a yardage device of some description. Now, if you want any advice, get in those comments. I'll be happy to answer them directly and comment back to you. So let's go this way and let's get a yardage for this shot. Okay. So this shot is 85 yards. So this is the nux of this video. I know straight away, now today is a beautiful flat calm day, so I've not got to take into account wind. I've hit the fairway, so I've not got to take into account too much of the lie. I know straight away, for me to get this ball close to this flag, I have a position. Now, I've been a golfer in the past that has struggled with positions because I feel as though you have to be too perfect, and I'm by no means that style of golfer. What I want you to think of this today are these positions are always written in pencil. So let me discuss what I do, and I'll show you how you can start to log them out on the golf course. You don't even have to go into the range to do this. You could do this out on the golf course on your own. So my first position that I think is really important is 9 o'clock. So sort of hands or arm sort of dissecting the middle of my torso in two, and then matching that on the way through. Now, this is the part that I think is overlooked. The speed of that delivery. Many of us will just take a shorter backswing, but then try and muscle it there on the way through. I want you to use this expression. However far I go back, I'm dropping that club back on the ball. The elastic band analogy. If I pull it back more, it goes through a little bit faster. If I pull it back less, it goes through a little bit less and at a slower speed. The same has to apply as you're going through these pitching positions. So let's hit number one here. Good stance, ball slightly towards the back of my stance, weight on my left, and I just set my lower half a little bit open. 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock, let's hit this one away. Be the club. Whoa, we're definitely gonna be happy with that one. Okay, so let's discuss the next pitching position that I have. I have hands to shoulder. So, okay, so the next one would be around here to hands to shoulder on the way through. Again, I would be looking for you to match the speed. So I'm going to aim slightly away from this flag, and what we should start to see here is a ball that's travelled to the flag, a ball to the middle of the green, and a ball to the back. So with each wedge, we've got three options. Now, depending on how many wedges you carry, there shouldn't be a flag that you can't access. So my next position. Again, my setup will stay the same. Hands to shoulder, dropping the club on the ball. Again, that one's gone a little bit further. Again, really nice shot. Oh, I like the feeling of that ball running up that face. And now onto the final position. Now do stick around the rest of this video, and if at any point you want to revisit it, don't forget we have a PDF guide attached that I think is really important for you to download and look at. All those links are down below. The final position, I call it feel. And there's two aspects to this. Anything that's below 9 o'clock is feel. So the chip shots and the shorter pitch shots. Anything sort of above hands to shoulder becomes more feel. And I would very rarely use this position. I would much rather revisit my 50 or even my wedge at that 9 o'clock or hands to shoulder position. But in some instances, to a tight flag where we need to get it high, this may be the option. So my final position is a full one. So again, I adopt the same feelings, same stance, ball slightly back, dropping the club on the ball, giving me that look of a more fuller shot, a ball that's travelling a little bit longer. 3 options. Now before we head up to the green, have a wander over this, meet me on the other side of this buggy. So come here with me. Okay, so as we've just said, and how many wedges I have 4 wedges. My pitching wedge, my 50, my 54 and my 58. And the 3 positions that we discussed, 9 PM, shoulder, full. So we looked at my 54. So what I want you to recommend here, and we're going to walk up to the green and show you how to do this, I can base from where I lasered that flag how far not only my 9 PM went, but also how far my hands to shoulder went and how far my full went, just by pacing it off. Now I've hit 3 balls here. Sometimes that's not practical to do on the golf course. So what I would recommend to you is that as you go through a round, just keep a spare card in your pocket. Mark down how far each of them went, or if you can sneak out on the golf course and it's quiet, have a go and do what I did. If there's a front flag, play one to the front, one to the middle, one to the back, experimenting with each and every one of those positions. Let's head up to the green. Yeah. Rolling? Can microphone's all right? Yep. So let's have a look at where these pitch. So I mentioned about building up a good knowledge of your game and how far that ball is going, because it's important to have this because it gives you confidence when you've got tight flags over water, near bunkers, whatever that might be. Now a lot of you might be thinking, you know what, Alex, this doesn't apply to me, I'm just starting out. No, I think this really applies to everybody. Because the wedge part of the game doesn't rely on you hitting it hard, doesn't rely on you actually striking the ball particularly well compared to a long iron. These clubs are shorter. We get this part of the game right early, we can really start to reduce our scores much quicker. Because that factor of hitting it far or swinging faster, a lot of us new to the game, we start to hit it a little bit off. Get this right, we start to lower our scores. So I mentioned where these balls are pitching. So my first one pitched just here. I'll repair these pitch marks afterwards. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4 yards short of the flag. So I know the flag was 85, that one went 81. Let's move on to the second one, my hands to shoulder. This one pitched 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 past. That went 89. So you can see there, 8 yards difference between those two. So moving on from this one, this is my full shot. I expected this to go a long way, and that's why I said a full shot up here becomes very much feel. We can't really put a label on that too much. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, onto my 89, 99, 101. So straight away, I have got 3 different options just with my 54-degree wedge. 81, 89, and 101. You can start to build up some great knowledge about how far your ball is going, not only in tournament, because you could revisit this and go, you know what, I played this shot on the 3rd hole, I've got it again on the 9th. Really important. But also, you could do this during your practice, so when you do get into competition, we've just got a sheet of paper on how far our wedges really go. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and just want to say, look at my brand new putter. This thing is pretty cool. I'll be more on this in the coming weeks. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to seeing you at the same time tomorrow.